Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Y'all, let's make the cutest little gift. Stay tuned. Welcome everyone to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with me. I really do appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber of my channel, I would love to have you join. We do some amazing things. We do some amazing crafting. We use the best and the most beautiful papers on YouTube. We have some awesome techniques that we share, and we have a great online crafting family right here on this channel. So if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And when you do, make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. And here is today's project, guys. We are going to make the cutest and the sweetest little box, and we're using chipboard on this box. So if you don't have chipboard but you happen to have some cereal boxes, you can use that as well. But what this box is, I'm going to open it up so that you can see. It is a box of tea bags. So if you know someone who loves to drink tea, this is a great last minute gift that you can go make for them, or you can make this for any season, any reason, any gender. But I think that it is just so stinking cute, and y'all know I love to make boxes, and I love to make mini boxes, and that's exactly what we have here. So y'all know what time it is. Let's get started. So here is everything that we're going to need to make our awesome project. We have our chipboard pieces. We have a piece that measures 1 by 3. We have 2 pieces that measure 2.5 by 2 3/8. We have 1 piece that measures 2 by 3. We have 3 pieces that measure 2.5 by 3. Then we have a piece for the handle that measures 2 by 7. We have this beautiful inside liner strip that measures 10 7/8 by 2 7/8. And I have 2 pieces that I'll be joining together to make the outer jacket of our box. And these pieces measure 4.5 by 3 3/4. You'll need one of those. And you'll need a piece that measures 8.5 by 3 3/4. Then I have some more scrap pieces that we'll be using to cover the side pieces. Now these scraps that I have here are 6 by 5. And your scraps don't have to be 6 by 5. I just didn't cut these down. But just make sure that you have enough scrap so that you can cover the side piece. But you will need at least 2 pieces that are 3.5 by 5.5. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make our handle for this. And most of you who've been with me a while know that whenever I have a handle on a project, I make it first so that the glue that I'm using will have a chance to harden and set up. And our piece is 2 by 7. So on the 2-inch side, score at 5/8 of an inch. Rotate it to the opposite 2-inch side and score at 5/8 of an inch. Now I am using scrap pieces of the Dollar Tree poster board for my project, but you don't have to. You just need a piece that is 2 by 7. So I am going to go ahead and fold and burnish all of my scores. And then I'll take my glue and I am going to add glue to this piece. And fold it over, and we'll get that stuck. Then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Add my glue, fold it over, and we'll get that stuck. Then I am just going to take my big old spatula, or you can run it along your desk. And basically what I'm doing is I'm spreading the glue out, but I'm also starting a curve on this handle, so it'll be easier for me to put it down on the project with a curve once it's had a chance to set up. So you can see I have a nice little curve to this. We're going to go ahead and set it to the side, and we'll bring it in when we need it. So now we'll bring in the piece that measures 8.5 by 3 1/4 and the piece that measures 4.5 by 3 1/4. And we're going to join these 2 pieces together. And I am using my 1/2-inch tape for this. So what I'm going to do is take that tape, place it down on the end of one of the pieces, and then I'll trim that away. I'll go ahead and remove that tape And then I'll take my second piece and I'm just going to place it on top of the tape that I placed down. And then I'll use my big old spatula just to get it stuck. And I am using a double-sided paper, so you can see that that is the polka dotted side. But this time, I am going to use this beautiful floral side for my project. So now what we need to do is we need to go ahead and place down our chipboard pieces. So the pieces that we're going to be working with right now are the 3 2.5 by 3 inch pieces, the 1 2 by 3 inch piece, and the 1 piece of 1 by 3. So I have already put double stick tape on the back of my chipboard, and I'm going to start with the piece that measures 2 by 3. And what I'm going to do with that piece is I am going to place it over that seam, but I want to make sure that when I place it down, my chipboard is basically in the center of the seam. So I'm just going to put that down like so. And then I'm going to take one of my pieces that measures 2.5 by 3. And we're going to go ahead and place that down. And guys, this really is a fun little project for using up those scraps and ending up with something oh so cute and oh so professional looking. So when I place this down, I'm going to place it down, giving myself about 1/8 inch in spacing. Then I'm going to rotate this because it's just easier for me to work from this side. So I am going to remove the tape from my second piece of 2.5 by 3 inch chipboard. I'm going to place that down, giving myself about 1/8 inch in spacing. And I'm going to be using Velcro as my closure, but if you wanted to place magnets on your project, you could. So I am just removing the tape from my third piece of 2.5 by 3 inch chipboard, and I'm going to place it down, giving myself about 1/8 inch in spacing. And then finally, I will take my 1 by 3 inch piece, and we're going to place that down right here at the top. So now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm just going to use my big old spatula to make sure everything is nice and stuck. Then I'm going to take my stylus, place it against the chipboard, and just go around all of my pieces, and I'm just basically digging into the paper to help loosen those fibers just a little bit, because this paper does have a little tendency to crack. So I'm going to try to minimize that, especially where I have joined the two pieces together. I'm just going to make sure that I really get down in there and add just a little bit of extra pressure. So I'm going to go over all of these. Just to make sure that if I'm going to have any cracking, I've pretty much done all I can to minimize it. So now that we have our piece like this, we can stand it up. And because I know it might want to crack, I'm just going to very gently tap it down, especially where I have the pieces joined. And then I can just take my top piece and do that. So now all I'm going to do, guys, is I am going to go in on my corners and miter. And by mitering, I'm simply cutting at an angle so that I can fold over and have a nice closure. So then I'm going to take my tape, place my tape down around all four sides of the inside. And then we'll go over this with our spatula just to make sure we have that tape stuck. So I am basically just going over that And I am going to take my tape runner and I am just going to add a little bit of tape to my end, because sometimes when you put the tape down there, when you fold over, you might not have enough tape to keep that stuck. So I like to just add a little bit of tape just to make sure that everything's going to stay down all nice and neat. So I am just going to fold these over just like that. Use my spatula to get it nice and stuck. And now I can take these pieces, and especially where I have that joint, you can see that I'm getting some cracking. That's okay, because I'm going to fix that in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and finish that fold over. And I am just going to take a little bit of glue, place that glue right there, and then I'm just going to take the glue and I can fix that. Just like that. Now I'll use my big old spatula just to help this stay stuck. And I'll also use my big old spatula just to make sure that where I added that glue, everything is nice, tight, and right. So we're going to do the same thing here, and you can see that my paper does want to crack. It's a beautiful paper, but it likes to crack. So I'm just going to add some glue right in there. We're going to re-stick. And especially when you're using a paper with a pattern, you don't even notice that. Now, me being me, I'm perfectly fine with making this like this. And I would give it to someone who doesn't mind taking something with a little imperfection. And this is just one of those things that I personally wouldn't sell if I know that it's cracked. If I'm making something that I'm planning on selling, I would definitely be using a paper that I know is not going to crack. So we've got those little cracks fixed. Now we have this, and we can take our liner piece, and I'm just using a scrap piece, and we can put it down. So I started with the liner piece that was 2 7/8 by 10 7/8. Then I checked it. It was a little bit too long, so I went ahead and removed some of that. So make sure that you do a test fit of your liner piece before you actually put it down. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the tape method on this because I have been using my Xyron a lot lately, and I know that some of you guys don't have that. So I'm going to show you exactly how we can put this down if we don't have a Xyron. So all I'm doing is taking my tape, and I am placing tape right here in the center. So I'm covering the chipboard with tape. And I'm getting really good coverage on that chipboard. And now I'll use my big old spatula just to go over that tape to make sure that I have a really good stick on this. And so now I'll use my finger blade just to remove my tape backer. So we have our box with the tape down on the chipboard. All I'm going to do at this point is add some glue to the edges of that liner piece. So let me move that out of the way. And all I'm doing is taking my glue, and I will simply go along these edges, placing glue down, making sure that I get good glue coverage because we don't want anything coming up. And before I actually place this down, I am going to grab a paper towel so that I can wipe up my excess glue. So now that I have my glue on my liner, I am just going to stand up so that I can get good placement. And I'm looking at this from overhead, which helps my placement. And now I have my liner piece down. I'll use my paper towel to start the initial stick. And then I'm going to use my big old spatula just to get everything nice and stuck and make sure that my spines are very well defined. So I am just going to go down inside each one of those spines with this part of my spatula. You can do the same thing with your bone folder. And I'm just making sure that I have everything nice and stuck so that when I put those side pieces in, we won't have any problems. So now we should have a nice little box, and you can see that it has sort of an odd shape, and that is what we want. So it sort of flares out just a little bit, and this is how the front looks, and I think that that is absolutely gorgeous. Okay guys, so now that we have our liner placed, we need to make the side pieces. So we're going to bring in the pieces that measure 2.5 by 2 3/8. And on the 2 3/8 inch side, we're going to place our ruler at the bottom, and we're going to make a mark at 1/8 of an inch. And we'll make our second mark at 2 1/4. So now that I have those marks made, here's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to make those marks a little bit darker. So all we're going to do is take this mark and just angle our ruler. So we're going to take our ruler, place it down on that mark, and then angle your ruler until you're at the edge of your chipboard. And I'm just going to do this in pen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And then you're going to have something that looks like this. So we'll be trimming away that part, and then we'll do the same thing over here. So we're going to place our ruler, and you can see that we placed the ruler, then we angled it to the corner, and that is what we're going to cut off. So I am going to go ahead, place my ruler down, and I'll use my finger blade just to go along the side of the ruler and remove that piece right there. And we'll do the same thing right here. So now that we have our piece trimmed, we're going to bring in the box because we're going to do a test fit. So I am going to take this piece and just place it inside of the box to make sure that, first of all, the box is going to close with that piece inside, and I can see that it is, but I can also see that I need to take off just a little bit at the top. So I am going to trim off about 1/16 of an inch. And then I'll try it again just to see where it's going to fit. And that's a pretty good fit, top, bottom, and sides. So this is how you want to keep testing it to make sure that you have the fit that you need. So then for my second piece, it's really going to be very simple what I do. I'm just going to take it and place it down and just trace what it is that I need to cut. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm simply going to cut this out based on the marks that I made. So I'm going to cut out, so I'll be cutting out my last one, and then we should be able to cover these. So now I'll take this piece and do a test fit just like I did on the other one. Just want to make sure that it's going to fit on the other side as well. And it does. You can see that I have a very good fit on this. So all I'm going to do at this point is I am going to add some tape. And I'm adding tape so that I am covering the top of my little side piece because we will be putting this down on paper. So you can see that when I ran my tape, I ran it so that it went from the bottom and wrapped around at the top. So I'm going to remove my tape. I'm sure you guys have a lot of chipboard scraps because I know I do. I am going to bring in one of my scrap pieces and we're just going to place it down right at the end, just like that. And you want to make sure that when you place it down, you have that flared part at the top. Then we're going to take our finger blade and cut out, but when you get to the end, stop and flare, because that will help when you do the fold over of this paper. If you cut it exact, you might actually end up with some of the chipboard showing, but by cutting it and then flaring, that takes care of that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. When I get to the end, I'll stop and then I'll flare. And so we end up with this, and all I'm going to do is take that, fold it over, and cut it out. So I have both of my side pieces all ready. I am going to bring in my glue, and the way that we're going to do this is we're going to take our glue and we're going to run it on the 3 exposed pieces of chipboard. So I am just going to run a thin bead of glue on those 3 exposed pieces. Then I'm going to take this, and the bottom of your box is, you'll have that wide panel, then you'll have this panel, that's the bottom. So I'm going to take this, place it right on the inside. I'm not going in any more than a 1/16 of an inch because I want to make sure that I have plenty of room for my tea bags. Then I'll bring up that other side just like that, and I am just going to press in on the sides and press down. And once this reptile glue sets, guys, this is not coming out unless you pull it apart or step on it or something like that. But on its own, it is not going to fall apart on you. So I am just going to wipe up some of that excess glue. Then I'm going to take one of my tea bags, put it in, and you can see that I have plenty of room for those bags. So just keep pressing until you have it caught. Then I will take my other side and do the same thing. So I am just going to take my glue, place it on my 3 pieces of exposed chipboard. And then we're going to put this little cutie in place. And I think I want the outside to be this. So now I'm just going to take this and just maneuver it into place. And I'll press down and press those back sides in, and we'll let this dry. So while our box is drying, we are going to go ahead and place our velcro closure on this. So I am just going to use the large velcro pieces. So I'm going to peel away that backer, take that piece, and I'm putting that piece on the flap, getting it nice and stuck. So then I'm going to peel away that second backer. I'll take my box and I'm going to close it, and then I'll just very gently pull it away so that I can come in and really get those velcro discs nice and stuck. So now when we close it, we have this. Isn't that sweet? So we're going to go ahead and put our handle on, and remember we made the handle at the beginning, 2x7, folded into 3 pieces, and then we folded those over. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to round it a little bit more. So on my ends, I'm coming in about 1/2 inch on both sides. I am going to take my glue place my glue down. Then I'll take this piece and just place it wherever I want it to be. And I'm going to use my big old spatula to really cutify that. And you guys know that you can add all types of flat back pearls, little gems, just to dress that up. So now I'm going to take this piece here and do the same thing. So I'm going to add my glue. And now I'll take this piece and I am going to just bring it up like so, not bending it too much. And we're going to get it stuck just like that. I'm just going to move it around until I have it where I want it. Then again, I'll use my big old spatula. And now I'm going to just take the top and just press down a little bit just to kind of flare out that handle shape. And now, y'all, we have this adorable, adorable, cute little tea box. So I am going to bring in my tea bags, and I have 12 that I'm going to put in this box. So it will hold 12 regular sized tea packs. And these tea packs are 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. So I am just going to take these and put them in my box, and you'll see that they will fit all nice and cute. So let's get those in there. And this is a great little gift for the tea drinker, especially when it's as cold as it is. And I found these teas at Tuesday Morning. I think you got 96 in a box for $7.99, I think it was. Might have been $9.99. It wasn't much. But all I'm doing is just dividing them. And that way I get a whole bunch of gifts from that one box. So now I'm going to close this. And on the front, I am going to use this sweet little button from Tim Holtz. And I got these at Tuesday Morning as well. So all I'm doing is just taking my scissors and snipping off the back because they are plastic and didn't even damage my scissors. So now all I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put some glue on the back of this, and then we will stick it to our little tea box. All right, guys, so while my glue gun was heating, I went ahead and added some little flat back pearls to the side just to give that some more cuteness. Now we have our little button for the front. I am going to take that and place it down, really getting that glue worked in. And how adorable is this? It is so stinking cute. So I am going to bring the first one back in so that you can see the difference in the paper. We have the polka dots and then we have the floral side. This is all the same paper, just opposite sides. And this paper is from the In Bloom collection from My Mind's Eye. And this particular sheet is called Romantic Blossoms. And I am just going to hold it up so that y'all can see the SKU in case you're looking for this. This print is from 2017. I know they're not making it anymore, but you might be able to find some of it on the market. So here we have our completed little tea boxes, and I think that they are just so stinking cute from the side. Look at how they have a little flair to them. They are absolutely adorbs. So I am going to open these, and you'll see that we simply have tea packets in here, but it is such an elegant way to give the gift of tea to someone. We can give it in a beautiful bag, which we have made, or you can present it in this cute little chipboard box made with scraps. Guys, there is no cuter way on the YouTube planet to get rid of some of that excess chipboard that we accumulate by following some of the crafts on my channel. And if you know some tea drinkers, they would love to have these. Or if you don't want to put tea in these, how cute is this? as a little trinket box just to be able to give something small at Christmas. Absolutely adorable. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. And if you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.